What's up everyone, Fritz here again with another episode of Sneakerhead Ambition, and today I have another live cop for you, and I'm going to have a breakdown and footage from the Yeezy 700 Wave Runner drop that was on Tuesday, March 22nd, so about a week ago at this point. Even though that there were people saying going into this drop that they thought these shoes might brick, I have learned from my mistakes in the past on just OG colorways like this or Bread 350s or anything of that matter. Like I said, I learned from my mistakes in the past. You should still go for these. They're not going to brick, and even if you have to hold them for a month or two, you'll make plenty of money. So just kind of remember that if it is a colorway that really is a famous, one of the top 10 colorways or so, always go for a full size run. Coming into this drop, I had struggled the previous day on the bone drop. Again, I know that that was a pretty easy drop for most people. I do usually cook Yeezy supply, but I had been struggling on these like back-to-back drops when you've got two big drops 2 days in a row or with like a 1 day break in between. So the big issue I'd been having was just divvying up my Gmails correctly. So that was an issue the previous day, but had that fixed for this, and I am looking forward to just having some time now to kind of get my Gmails all back to normal after this just flurry of releases we had in March. If you are interested in the mistakes that I did make, I do have that video up, so I go over those detail those mistakes in depth during that video, so you can check that if you would like to see what I did wrong. I'm not going to go into those in too much depth in this video, but needless to say, long story short, I did fix most of those during this drop and did end up having a good day. During this drop, I did end up hitting 37 pairs. I ran Noble, Whatbot, and Valor. 21 of those pairs came on Whatbot today, so I did have a lot of success with that bot, so that was good. And then 16 of those came with Valor. I did not hit with Noble, so that was unfortunate. I did get a couple declines, but that was my totals on the day. So that was 21 with Whatbot, and I had 16 with Valor. I was able to fix my issues with Valor in bot. I did get a lot of instances to work with my Gmails in there, so that was definitely a plus. I really am trying to get back to doing that just pretty much with all of my Valor instances and using AYCD Autosolve as a backup. That is what I would ideally like to do. So I have had a little more success lately with the in-bot. Just been trying to have my Gmails in there, loaded up already, watch a couple videos during the week on, within the actual Valor and the YouTube within that. So I don't know if I'm overthinking that, but that did seem to work. And I did finally kind of have a little more success with in-bot over AYCD, since that had been giving me some issues with Valor as of late. As I mentioned, Whatbot got me the most pairs out of the day. With them lately, I have actually been trying to do a little bit of the less is more. I had been running 4K tasks on there, and I had been hitting, so it's not like it wasn't working, but I'd just been reading a couple places that you really should keep your task groups under 250 on there, and that you should not really go more than 2.5K to get the bot to perform optimally. So I did run about, I think it was like 2.5K tasks, and that did seem to work a lot better. And like I said, I broke my task groups down into just smaller groups. So even if I was going to run, say, Oculus Residential, I didn't put a 500 group. I tried to keep them capped at 250. So that did seem to work, and this was the best day that I've had ever with Whatbot on Yeezy supply. So that was definitely nice to see. With Noble, I again kind of struggled to get the tasks started. I did restart the bot. I know that a lot of bots kind of leading up did make some adjustments. So I did restart it. I did get some declines, like I mentioned, so it wasn't like I didn't get any traction whatsoever, but I didn't hit with that, so that is unfortunate. I know that it hasn't been performing as well as of late, but I do have faith in that team, and I'll take it on me. I should maybe just look into, since the wait for sale thing isn't working that well, I should maybe just look into starting them later. I don't know. Like I said, I do think that they will be able to fix that in the long run, so I'll just be looking for that and just try to adjust moving forward. But like I said, I did not hit with Noble on the day. Now moving on to talking about the actual drop, I did start my tasks a little earlier. I know I mentioned in my last video that I think that was an issue I had, that I started a little late, and my task just had an issue getting into queue early enough, getting AYCD rolling before everybody got it kind of clogged up, and where it starts to lag just a little. So I did start a little earlier, so that was good. I was able to get more of my tasks in queue, and everything was going well, until about like 10 minutes in, 5 to 10 minutes in, when it was obvious that they were deploying the SMS verification, which was a shitstorm. So for the first like 30 minutes of this drop, the only way you could get a checkout was with having a text code or an SMS code that could be emailed to you as well. Now the issue with that comes in when like a lot of the phone numbers I use, the 99.99% of the phone numbers I use aren't real phone numbers. So I couldn't get a text. And the other issue just being that like a lot of the emails I have are in catch-alls, and it was hard for me to get to the emails, bring them up, and do all of that and still, be able to get these codes in. So that was difficult. I did get a couple pairs during this period. So I did get some codes from people I was running for, or I did get some that I was able to get from an email and input them. But for the first 30 minutes, it was really slow. And that system got really jammed up. So like people were getting, I'd be running for somebody and like 10, 15 minutes after the window came up and the code was sent, they would be like, hey, it's up. And the window would have disappeared by then. So it really was kind of a mess for that first 30 minutes. I do know that people were able to check out. I was able to check out. I think I got like 5 or 6 during that period. But that was something to consider when looking back at this drop, and something to just keep in mind moving forward and just have planned for in the future in case they do that again. About 30, 40 minutes in, they did end up dropping this, and the drop just went back to regular checkouts, and that's when things really started to get rolling. Now, during a drop like this, ISPs did not perform as well as they usually do. Resis have been doing a lot better over the past 3 or 4 drops. It's almost been equal, or sometimes the Resis have done better than the ISPs. But when you do have a drop like this, it is nice to have ISPs because you can just let them run. I know a lot of people had to stop their tasks, so it is kind of nice when you have those. So that is a benefit to just consider when you're thinking about or when you purchase ISPs. So once they dropped the SMS codes, like I said, I got about 30 pairs after that. So I did have a very successful day, and I was able to just keep running. I had enough data and I had enough ISPs that I could just kind of leave things running. So it did end up being a very successful day for me once they dropped that SMS code verification and things got back to normal. In regards to what type of cards I use, that is a question I get a lot on here. Usually it's either Slash or Capital One Inu. Big thing with Inu, it really needs to be a Visa. If you've got MasterCards, I really wouldn't even run them. They can work sometimes, but they don't really work. They don't work on foot sites. It's just really not worth it. But if you do have a Visa, Capital One Inu with a Visa works really well for me. I don't have many declines. I use that successfully. Sometimes I use Slash, but both of those work very well for me. And on the day, I just use my Inus that again are Visas, and those worked very well for me. In regards to the ISPs not outperforming the residential proxies as of late, that is something that's happened before. I remember that happened last year. So like at this point, 15 months ago, that happened for like a month or 2. And then it went back to ISPs just being better again. The companies will adjust, but for right now, residentials really are doing a very good job. I would recommend running like a 50-50 split if you usually do run a lot of ISPs. If that's not what you're running, this is really irrelevant, and you've probably been doing a lot better as of late just because residentials have been doing really well. So that is something to pay attention to. Maybe, temper back your ISP purchases just a little bit if you run a bunch of dailies, because residentials really are doing just as well, if not better, over the last like 3 to 4 drops on Yeezy supply. So again, something to just pay attention to over the next couple weeks and this month. For April, I know there aren't that many drops, but there is the zebras. So just something to remember going into that when you are planning your setup. As far as what proxies worked for me on the day, like I said, residentials definitely did perform really well, and Oculus residentials hit me 18 pairs alone, so that was great. And then I also hit a couple pairs with Live and Petty as far as the residentials went, so that was great on the day. And then as far as ISPs, I did run Final Shop, Porter, NORA, and TBB, and all of those hit me like 3 to 5 pairs each, so that was my makeup for the day on checkouts for proxies. And just to hammer this home, I wouldn't overreact to the ISP thing. Like I said, the companies will adjust. They'll get different subnets, different ranges. They will adjust. I don't expect this to be long-lived, maybe a month or 2. But like I said, just run more residentials for the time being until you again start to see where ISPs are just clearly a better option again. As always, a massive shout out and thank you to my sponsors, Oculus, Live, and Petty Proxies. I did run all of those during this drop and they all did hit for me. So again, I can't really recommend those highly enough. If you are interested in any of those, I will have discount codes and links in the information below. So check that out if you need any proxies. Like I said, these are proxies that I would use even if these companies weren't backing me. So they are companies that I've used in the past successfully and continue to use. So I do feel confident plugging these guys because again, they are companies that I do have a lot of respect for, the team, the product. So again, if you need any proxies, check those out in the information below. Again, something I'm really proud of is the fact that the day before this, I pretty much flopped and hit 3 pairs. So I really am proud when I'm able to kind of rally despite being that disappointed and upset for an hour or 2 based on my performance. So I am really happy when I do that. And that is something that I do talk about a lot, is just your mindset with this. And you've got to just view things as, some drops you just don't do the right stuff, right? You do things wrong, you make silly mistakes, you make mistakes you didn't know about, you learn from it. So I was really happy with that after that previous day. I did end up having a great March, but there were 1 or 2 drops in there where I really did not perform well. So I was happy that I was able to rally on the drops right after those and succeed. Anyways, that's all for this portion of today's video. I am kind of excited to get a little break for my Gmails, to get those back to normal, kind of get my mind a break. March was very, very busy. I will have a light live cop up from the knit runners and a couple other drops just in the time being. So check back in a couple days for those. But I will, like I said, just give everything kind of a rest. The next big drop we're looking at is on the 9th of April with the 350 Zebras. So I am looking forward to that. And per usual, just leave any comments, questions, debate topics, whatever you want in the comment section below, and I will try to get back to you as quickly as possible. And like I said, check back in a couple days. Should have another live cop up. And until next time, see ya. All right, so we're about 30 minutes out right now. Running Valor, Valor, Whatbot, and Noble today. Running a little bit more of a light setup. Gonna be running InBot on Valor and Noble and Whatbot on AYCD. Apparently, Justin is gonna push an update real soon for Yeezy supply. So I just gotta be ready to start those back up. It looks like I've got everything ready to roll for the day. And we shall see how I do. So we're right out from the drop. A lot of bots have updated, so I had to go into them and update them. Looks like Whatbot's sticking with it, but Valor and Noble, I needed to go in there, but apparently Justin for Valor pushed something where, like, if you're looking at my screen here, all of these were just not making any traction. And he said he's going to push something to force entry at 9, so we'll see how that goes. It does look like I'm getting into Q. Good. Getting into Q. Good. Alright, and we just keep running. Alright, he just said sales been paused on the back end, but to keep running.
Check out the art coming in? Apparently. Where are you seeing that? The chat.
It says keep your task running how low their capture.
Right, got a size 17. Oh, I should start? Okay, maybe I'll start then. Oh, boy, I haven't started on his passing spots. You know, I'm about to open up RAM.
Bro, I have 9 card in with the ref, but I think that's a bug.
Hey, what's up? What up, bro?
How do I know which one it is?
It says enter the Yeezy supply code for just 0038.
Dude, these are crazy.
Right.
I've only gotten 2.
Yeah, I'm not doing much right now.
How do you know which,
I'm not sure. Just says SMS.
this is fucking nuts.
Take your time, you're good.
And that one. And then this is the second one that I got. Like, should I try those in my windows as well?
I think they're working. I just got another. Send another one. Yeah, send a third if you got it.
Let me look right now. Refreshing. I've only gotten 2.
My bad. I'm listening. Sorry.
No, no worries. I'm just going to stop my task because I don't want to conflict it. That way I'll know if you get the code. I'll just send it right away.
Okay, cool.
Make it easier. So they have no anti-bot app?
I'm not sure. I heard they pulled the stock on the back end right now.
That's what it looks like. And of course everybody is panicking and talking shit in Discords.
Oh yeah.
I don't understand why. Like this is all part of the game. I kind of actually like it when they go crazy.
Yes, sir. Where did you get the code?
I got it from my email.
Okay.
Yeah, those are the only two, and it sent it at 6:01. 6:01 and 6:02. Basically, it was like you Instacarted. Those are the only two that I've gotten. I haven't gotten any text messages because I got my phone. Well, Cyrus is running smoothly.
There you go.
I'm putting in about 1,100 for the wave runners on the exhibition, so.
Okay, so Q passes and stock right now is paused, so it's not bad if you're not passing.
No, I'm not running.
Oh, my bad.
I stopped running because, like, I don't know what's
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah, it's
My first day at my new job, so I'm gonna have to leave in a little bit.
yeah. I hear you.
So I was like, all right, well, let's see how it goes. And if it turned into a shit show, I wasn't gonna be able to do it. So
No worries. Send me a code 50.
I haven't gotten any new ones at all.
All right.
I can send you the two that I have. I haven't gotten anything.
weird. I'm not getting these codes to these emails.
No, I haven't gotten any.
So all declined so far. You know, I'm just gonna let these run. Got a good amount in cart. Having a lot of issues right now with. I'm just checking out with these codes, so we'll see what happens. I just gotta keep running because at the end of these drops, sometimes they just kind of let the doors open. So.
Big ban. Did I renew my Valor for the month? Voting card, big ban, bro. All my things are big ban. Let's go. If you're a beast, you will. Okay. Big ban, big. Passing a shit ton right now, but I'm just getting big bans. You guys ready to get? It's delayed. Unknown here. I'm so happy again. BBC might be looking at it. I gotta organize my Discord again. I'm passing a shit ton of rap. I'm not carding. Yeah, I'm passing heavily, but I can't card. Yeah, passing shit fake bans. Mech class. Come on, can click the mech 605. The lowdown tab. Let's take a look at this. 605. Be trying to leave me on lowdown. So what do I get here? I got a carding failed 403. I'm with savages. Don't bring your full ground. Oh shit, we gotta look at it. Yeah, I got BBC queue up. Is queue up? Oh shit. No. Oh, you scared the shit out of me. Yeah, all I'm getting is like issues.
Nice.
Yeah, carding failed 403 and like fake bans and shit. Nothing's actually working. Hey, at least no 3DS errors today, right, Kian? Like normal? Actually, I haven't had the code. Give me the code. No, yeah. Ever since I got just fucking. Why is that? Why would I restart your tasks so far? Who says that? That's what Mike just said. Yeah, Mike. What I got another one on Whatbot. Whatbot's kind of ripping, not even lying. Thank you for not lying to us, Nova. Oh, Trickle, check out. Restart Valor. We'll try that. Bro, I don't even know if I want to burn my rest of my Gmail on this. My God, Trickle is in full effect. Mushroom Proxy. I'm saying Mushroom really began the job. That's what I'm waiting. But neither is so much for sure. I'm gonna see a vlog, bro. I just hit it with Max. As far as we know, better even that will. Did you guys already sell off your Air Maxes? Or the contract ones? Yes. They literally sold 5 minutes after this money. I learned from the mellows to resell as fast as possible. And when I got most of them, I got one limited damage box. So I'm carding a little bit, but Trickle's clearly carding. Check out. Sure. I'm passing like astronomical amounts. Me too, but I just can't card like 5 times a second. Just yeah, I think I'm gonna restart one big rapid. My brother's not that harvesting, motherfucker. Other one on Whatbot. I have one carded finally. Oh, I got a 3DS window. Then I'm pausing. Finally got rid of one. Like 100 passes of wrath of carded one. Bless. Hey, what about Pass Set? You guys running Pass Set? I'm running a couple tests. Just because. I think Nova's running a couple. You guys start BBC Pass? Yes. You just check out that. I'm not even. I don't have my verification code though, bro. Oh, there it is. I got it.
He turned it on Facebook.
Yeah, it's actually my Amex verification code. Pacheco, let's go.
We got 40 seconds to that.
Blast.
Forget about Nike.
Thanks,
Nom and then Nike. Tell us how you really feel, boss. God damn. My wife has me without a filter right now. She has the fingers. I think Jay is at like 10 with Whatbot. Another one. Maybe I should fire up Whatbot. Damn. Yo, drop the list. Oh yeah, facts, thank you. Start entering for Whatbot again. Another one. DJ Khaled, relax. I'm gonna stop saying. I'm just sitting here cooking. I'm the hardest.
Alright, I got pass.
BBC even dropped, bro.
Yeah, BBC's dropping.
What year was BBC created?
Oh my god, what is
I
this?
don't even know.
What year did BBC start?
Oh, I got it.
1922.
Submitting details.
No, it's
What?
not.
Waiting for restock, bro.
2005.
2005, okay.
No? What the fuck? I must put this out on Google. It said 1922 for me.
Dude, I have like my AI
Location
shit
not
not working too
supported.
well on BBC.
What the?
It did not work very well on BBC for some reason.
2000, maybe 2003. 2003.
It's 2003, okay.
Waiting for restock. No, I don't have to ship here. What the hell?
That's what I got. That was a fucking waste.
Oh, submitting payment use retry, huh?
Oh, Nike.
Fatal error, wrong item. Wrong item. Dude, this is pissing me off. These splash passes, bro. It's just annoying as shit. Splash pass for days, can't even hit.
I'm just waiting for product now.
I'm gonna restart Valor. Yeah, I'm restarting. I think they're dropping. Because I'm passing like fucking insane.
Me too, but I think hard.
Yeah,
Yeah, me too.
like he ended it.
Dude, I have over 100 splash passes on Red Hat, bro, and I have one cart, and it's still
Alright, so we've definitely started cooking more. Looks like they kind of opened the floodgates. Whatbot's been hitting for me. Hit a couple pairs for me so far. Valor is passing splash. I'd like to see some more checkouts. Noble's kind of doing the same. Let's go, Valor. Give me one. Come on. There we go. Alright, we've got some movement. Looks like we could have another one on Valor. Got a window open. Let's go punch another through. Punch another through, Valor. Oh yeah, got another one good. That one right there, nice. Alright, floodgates have opened somewhat. Not as much as I would have liked to hit, but we're cooking. Noble just doesn't have it today.
It literally is infinite passing. That's how I feel. Ian, whatever you're doing, I feel what you're going. issues when I go to checkout. It just doesn't like go through. Go 3DS and then it's just like cards just stick. I have like 6
There we
cards.
go. Trickle again. Oh, bro. Trickle.
Wait, I hit one on Kodai. Okay, went through. You hit 2 on Kodai?
Yeah, that was wrong.
Yeah, Kodai apparently just god tier now. Hard to climb.
Yeah, what's the pacifies to my fucking classmate gave me?
Is that your classmate game?
There we go. Alright, we're fucking good.
You're McDonald's IDs. Let's go, man. Yo, I'm hitting like, there's no way.
Yeah, we're cooking. We're fucking cooking. We're cooking.
Yeah, I can't really say the same, honestly. That sucks.
I'm at almost 20, I think, now.
Bad Harvester 5.
I'm also home for all drops. There's my
Oh shit, is it still in stock?
It's still in stock. It just started rolling.
Alright, almost time. Just all sides are story. Just a little bit. There we go.
It makes it hard to already do. Oh shit, I forgot about that. I entered, but
Prison and triple are just going nuts right
my
now.
wife's account, that hurts.
Yo, can I
Oh, I got the dunks. Let's go.
Oh, you're out.
Yeah, I'm nuking your UPS.
There we go. Oh, Prism's flooding me right now. Oh, baby. Yo. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. It's just
Might
straight
just
up
stop
girl.
running, honestly. Like, I'm just not doing shit.
Yo,
There we go.
which one is it?
Hold on, sure, hold on.
Yeah,
That was really good for certain people. Oh,
Prism and triple are carrying. Triple says roughly 700 pickup, and then I believe it. I keep I'm flooded right now. I'm flooded. Are you guys going for specific sizes or anything?
Why is I'm trying to close this fucking stupid 3DS window. I'm trying to close my Whatbot and the window stays open for the 3DS window.
So was it just not live?
SMS live. Fuck me.
Holy shit.
Is live burning right now or no?
Let me see what my live is and I'll tell you right now. Oh, actually not at all. It's only like down barely any.
Why am I still getting rally?
Payment, beautiful. Checking out on Mac. Triple again. Yo, YCD is nice. I like YCD.
What are you guys running right now? Valor and Whatbot, and my Mac keeps crashing.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really worth it.
Perfect plan again. Oh, I hit 3 already for Xanos, so I'm just gonna stop. Oh man, I ain't hit shit. I'm not too sad about it, but it's not over yet, bro. Keep trying. No, I am. You want me to run? I can run you if you want.
Yo,
I'm gonna get a couple of cents.
let me send you profiles to you.
You got me for $10 a pair?
Is it in Canadian? Yeah, sure.
I'll do 10 Canadian. I mean, I can run you up. I think I might have your profiles from yesterday.
Oh, bro, let me send you new profiles. So you know what I did? My dumbass, I thought I found the exploit. And I found the exploit slash, bro. I was generating more than 36 cards, dude. I generated 71 cards. They were hacking third BDC.
It's my privacy max. No. Tell me
sure my privacy is active.
Your cards were what? Were different sites.
No. I feel like James. So I have a 36 plan on slash finance.
RP?
Yeah,
They all said dead.
yeah, that was just
Fully maxed. All the cards in here declines. I got a lot of cards from them. It's just it's great, just that good. I chose the right day to run it, dude. Yesterday too, no?
What are you running there?
I didn't run it yesterday. I haven't ran it in like almost half a year.
Running what?
I have 33 checkouts of this so far.
What the?
Jesus.
I think it's mobile.
What? No. No. You only have 32 with it though? 33. I'm about to hit another one for 38.
That's increasing Saturday. Oh shit.
No shit, we're the chance for breaking shit's continuing. I'm okay with it, but
Damn, I wish I could get more.
you're maxed out, Flex.
Yeah.
Or decline. Why don't you swap to your red cards?
I could, I guess.
Bro, if this isn't stuck for another 40 minutes, you're gonna regret not moving quickly right now. Mention my profile like a lot for like
How many checkouts can we get on one profile? Like 30, I think. But my privacy's max. I can't get more. Oh, actually, Fraser just got me 7 checkouts. Okay.
I changed my profile like mid-draw. Restart. That was a cute toss, man.
That shit's not going like that. Checker was live. Live just goes stupid for me.
I wish I could keep running right now, but I only wanted 3. You're not running yourself yet? Bro, I'm in Canada. I can't do that shit. The reach control clip. He's in Canada. Thanks.
Yeah. I mean, that Jamie's 1 mil, right? So.
What, you don't want to know that? No, you want to hear flash passes. I think do not disturb. Just treat your stats. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. My grandma just texted me, do you have any orange shoes? What kind of weird ass question is that? Yeah, you look away from it. A little bit orange on it. No, I haven't zero keys or whatever. Do you have any orange shoes? Yeah, dude, she tried to get, she wanted a pair of slides, and I was like, we're in a trip. The one with all the wrong sizes. Yeah.
The one you have to decide on the floor.
Yeah.
Wait, those fit smaller?
They were like a size 5 was like a size 5.
Wait,
Some
really?
ones are size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was gonna keep a pair for personal because I got a size 10 because that's what I wear. And I couldn't even get my foot in the 10. And that's what I wear on all the other ones. Like my foot literally wouldn't even go in it. How that works, I don't know.
I wish Triple would show the 5s.
Watch your mouth.
Always trickle with your fucking call version of
Yeah, that would be nice too.
so sorry for all she can't tell.
You know, you'd think it'd be a very easy thing to have.
Running that, man. My SP's in line. All the stuff to run, and I don't have anyone to run.
Oh my god, I got my first hit.
Let's
I
go.
am proud of you. Let's go. Oh my god, I'm so happy.
36 gigabytes later, I got a pair. Let's go. Let's go. I only spent $300 for this one pair. It's a
I found the Gmail. I found the Gmail, boys. Just hold it with that. Actually, the right these race look pretty good.
I don't want to be running stuff like that. All I hear is you guys fucking
I think it's about it. Like, we think it's about it. Stock soon or what?
No. Nah, I think it's still with yourself.
I probably won't tell you.
This error add to cart.
What the fuck is 62? Good shit. They don't hit 62?
I'd love to know what card server is easy.
Who?
His name
It's always the Chinese.
They go crazy, bro.
They go crazy. They're not even funny.
He would run like literally 100 servers.
Like if you see 100 flip in a success channel, it's Chinese. I can guarantee it.
He's not wrong.
I'm not even wrong. Like I can guarantee it.
You know, there's these VCC providers if you have American Express cards. So you can, it's like $3 a call. It's a straight call at American Express.
No, I just checked out 2.
Pass down 6 in 1 minute.
That's 2.
I'm muting the Mac, but I'm pretty sure I can still hear it. I feel
getting hooked like crazy on Mac. Yeah, wait, no, but you don't have access to the ACO, right, profiles?
Ian's trying to put it up.
I DM'd George and like he didn't reply. Dude, I be running it up right now. I get so many pairs for ACO. I get pairs for everyone, but
Yeah, I was gonna tell George
George
to
doesn't
tell
want
us
me to get goddamn DMs ever. DM me or reply in like 30 seconds. I DM like anyone else, bro. It takes 46 years, man. I'm like, bro, come on, alright.
Like, bro.
Get rid of the no snow, but don't worry. I guess all these people that sign up for ACO, they're gonna miss out on more pairs.
Both of my harvesters are going.
Really wish I could run the page. Even though I had like 400 passes and only like 6 cards, it was still fun.
Nice.
Not really though.
Someone just paid $400 off of YS.
But how? Literally, how?
What state do they live in? I don't know.
And give me another one, Whatbot.
Drive time? Yeah, you know, sure.
What's your
Yeah, there we go, Whatbot. Whatbot is cooking. Give me another one, Bella. Yeah.
What bot do I want to run?
Yeah,
Mega
Whatbot.
Wrath right now. Mega Wrath.
Whatbot is cooking.
If you need
Oh,
focus,
check out successful check on it. Nice. Cool couple.
I mean, I have Trickle too, but I feel like I have to change the. Okay.
Prism is going crazy for me too. And sure.
I'll run Trickle. I just gotta like edit the cheat and all that bullshit, you know?
Okay,
You know what?
Whatbot.
I have Trickle already set up for different profiles. I'll just copy the extra shit. Yeah. Like the sizes,
Damn.
skew, and
Yeah, I'm running out of money. I'm switching to my hard cards. Did you do that yet, Flex? I'd be disappointed.
No, eventually, I don't know what happened, but eventually it was like 30 failed checkouts in a row, but
waiting for Proxy.
I'm just gonna run trickle. Fuck it. Let's run trickle. So, are my data?
Are you gonna just run trickle?
And then just run trickle.
There you go. Bro, this can't last that much longer. I got shit to do.
What's that fucking Supreme?
I sold my Supreme shirt. Yeah, I made my first object sale yesterday.
Hey, what do you guys think about?
I don't ever use it. I just sold my Supreme shit yesterday.
You made the best. You made the best.
I don't trust people on eBay with that shit. They're gonna fail. I mean, either way, I'll win, but fuck that.
It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
StockX had 50% off fees yesterday, so I'm just like, what?
Yo, what do you guys think about the trucker? Would you hold or sell?
I hold a trucker.
Trucker, you can sell it. Hold it.
Let's go. Give me another one. Come on.
I hold it. Alright, if you have the money, hold it. Those things are fucking ridiculous. I really want it. You got a medium, right? Pick medium?
Yeah,
You want it? Good thing for retail. I mean, I'll take it if you're gonna.
damn, bro. You drive a car and park. Remember these 20 bucks or running? Oh. Remember the declines are insane.
Yeah, declines are fucking nuts.
There we go.
They have like another triple.
There we go.
Maybe I can do something.
It says 12, so it's fine.
Yes, it is.
I just.
One second.
What it is,
I'm just getting up already. It'll be good.
Oh, yeah, take your time. I don't want you to.
Okay, it's started. It's good. You need like security code and the 4-digit thing. I don't really know either. Like,
What is a basic word?
it's basic word phone number. Oh, shit. I guess it's the phone number, like the account, and then the card
Only
security.
type in 4 digits.
It's a card security. Maybe it's a glitch. I think it might be glitch. Card security last four. The last four of card security last four, whatever it's called. I don't know. That's what it says. But just put those 4 digits in. It should work. I think it's glitched. I think it's saying the wrong thing. I honestly don't fucking know. Everything's so weird. You just request for days. Request for trickle.
Wrath is going insane right now.
Why are we getting so many requests on trickle? What the hell?
Dude, I found such good Gmails. Holy
Man, it's not 4 carded.
Yo, does it just request a ridiculous amount of on your Gmail? Jesus, I've been running for a minute. I already have 50 requests, over 50 requests on 3 Gmails.
Is anyone actually what? Is anyone actually checking out? Yeah, I'm checking out a lot.
Processing? I can't even tell with trickle. It's ridiculous.
Pretty sure I just let that be.
The pre-deposit on Stripe, but you don't, bro. It's hard to get declined. Like you hit. It's crazy.
So fast. I have to pre-deposit.
Either way, you're spending the money.
Yeah, but it's not guaranteed that you're gonna hit it.
You can just send it right back. Yeah, you can send it back.
Yeah, but how long? Isn't it like days to go back and forth?
I think like 1 day. Yeah, is it enough?
How hard is it to get like a shred?
You have an LLC, it should be easy.
What if you don't have an LLC?
I don't know.
I don't have an LLC set up, but I just typed in info and they accepted it when I did it.
So they will do that. Sometimes, and then like a month, they'll pause your account and say like they need more information from you. That's what happened to me. I think it might have been a month or 2 months down the road. They paused it, and they said, "Okay, yeah, you should be fine."
Yeah. I need to start using it more though, because like you were saying, and I fucking hate how I have to put my my main address is bigger still. I can make this.
It's probably still better. It hasn't been too long.
Oh, I just gotta. Oh, guys, my main address is not banned anymore.
What? I was gonna say it's way too early. Like I feel like it would be. God damn, that's pretty lit.
I'm not sure. I'm sorry to break it to you. We got a bunch of sites 10.5. change the first name, leave the last name the same, change the phone number, some random, and then you can catch on.
Yeah, I got some dailies from Proxy Q.
So many fucking cards, man.
Trash.
That shit's crazy.
What did you just say about my baby chimp?
Proxy Q.
Proxy chimp is trash.
No, I said Proxy Q. They didn't do shit. None.
I've never heard of that.
Trash. Yeah, I got it.
We'll see what the limit is on one card.
I think I'm just gonna start shipping to random ass addresses and then just go the day it's supposed to be like that. Because my use my work, so many different addresses.
Really quick. Oh, Cartel Pro 3, let's go.
What about live? How y'all doing on data on live? My shit only ain't one week, man.
You said that. I was really glad at the start, but
Oh, it's unless it's not using anything.
we're at 1 gig and like
The
30
beginning, that's
seconds.
what was crazy though.
But
In the beginning, I literally burned like 4 or 5 gigs in like 10 minutes.
damn, man, we're almost at 70 declines. So I don't even know how many declines I have trickled. Does it tell you how many declines you get? I don't know. Did I get that?
Send
some
some
in my book if you haven't set up. I don't think I have that. I need a card that ATC responded with status 403. God damn it. Even Trickle's giving me 403.
I got 75 declines, 1 checkup. Oh my god.
At least we got one.
Get there, bro.
Anybody going for the Supreme Air Force One?
I think everyone should.
They were stalking, right?
But you gotta change something, dude.
It's just genuine yesterday. So many declines.
I don't know if it's the cards, because like, sometimes I'll get hella declines, sometimes I don't.
Okay, Whatbot?
Never had it like
What kind of proxies are best for Supreme?
even declines.
Live.
Yeah, live proxy. Live is local.
Live is the answer to everything.
Yeah.
Any site you want to run, even Nike, Live hooks Nike too.
Out of stock on size 10.
I'm getting decline hooks on
yeah.
by the way.
Yeah, I think it's about to go out of stock.
Yeah. I'm composed with it. If it's 2 declines with your card or maybe the site. About like 50 declines.
Oh, it's linked to my card.
Bank size is failed 500.
Yeah, that's gonna be it. If
What should be linked to your bank?
it should be a link to your bank, and then the declines are gonna be much lower.
Oh shit, this one is linked to my card.
Aha, it's me, the problem. We should make an announcement, I think. Later.
That's confirmed though, right? It's like the card, because I've ran this before on this and it
No, but we're talking about like the likelihood of, I'm sorry. Like, yeah, payment declines to checkout are issue.
Earning failed oops. Mine's linked to my bank account, but
Still declines.
yeah. I think it's
Only like,
this one.
only like 4 or 5 sizes left.
Which stuff you don't know by chance?
Sizes 9 to 11.
What the fuck?
Okay. Bro.
36 cards in red. It's hard to see. Yeah. Alright, shit.
Hey, you guys don't fucking
Throw a
want
case slam up
Okay.
over the head. Alright, man.
I just hit another one. Just
Like a
9.5.
Alright, I'm gonna catch y'all. Peace out, guys.
Alright, see you soon.
Hey, you guys know when we can start farming again?
Right now.
I'm gonna start
Like good Gmails next day probably.
Yes, another one on Whatbot.
Like your proxies for your
I have Gmails that say OC even after I use a billion plus.
Don't switch the proxies. Like,
No, I mean like, cause like mine are like running out like the first time I bought them. I just had to let them like rest for like 2 days before I switch them, right?
I changed that.
You don't even have to. You just
No, you don't have to.
make sure between when you do switch them in a drop, it's like maybe a little bit just in case.
Oh, okay.
But generally they won't lose the score. I think that's mostly a just false when people say you're gonna lose your score when you switch proxies.
Yeah. Alright, thank you.
The thing about it, on your Gmail account, you go from like one place in the country to the other side of the country, the other side of the world sometimes. It's pretty much the same thing as having to your proxy. But it's not even on the other side of the world, it might be just like a different data center that's like across the street.
Taxing up the ass on the pair.
The big those proxies.
Noble got me a decline
I think it's so stupid.
and another decline.
And people like
Nice.
Whatbot
Whatbot got me a check out.
already, and it's literally only boters that went for them. So like clearly we know who's like breaking the market. Like it's
Valor, boys.
It's ridiculous. Like
So you're saying payment failure is just YS end? Cause let me get, no spread. I'm using.
Alright, so I had a pretty good day. I gotta count them up. Pretty sure I had around between 20 and 30 total. Gotta go back and look, but had a good day. I'm gonna shut everything down. Definitely hit over 10 on Whatbot between my 3 instances on Valor. It looks like I hit 15 or so. So I'll go over how I did for the day. But happy with the inbot in Valor. Got that to work. So that was good. I'm gonna start moving more back to that in the coming drops. And you know, I just need to get my Gmails just weren't right yesterday. I overloaded AYCD, and I just need to be more prepared on that. I mean, I did have, this was a very unusual stretch just because of the fact that we had let me shut these down so I'm wasting my data. Because we had so many drops in that short of period of time. So, you know, it's just something to continue to work on and just keep compile more Gmails and go from there. So not bad, pretty happy with it. Crazy drop at first. I'll have talked about that more in depth at the beginning of this video. But other than that, I will see y'all next time.